after watching hundreds and hundreds of tutorials and trying different methods and techniques, your skin tones still suck. And you know why? Because there is one pivotal piece of the puzzle missing. A stupidly simple reason. So much so it makes me want to bang my head on the wall for not figuring it out sooner. Doesn't matter if you are a beginner, an intermediate, or pro painter, sooner or later your mise will have skin to paint. The principle, even between these different skill level, is the exact same. It just gets more and more refined the more skilled you get. Most of the basic and beginner-friendly skin tones tutorial take the base coat, wash, and layer approach. Easy, right? Well, yeah. Easy, but not looking so good, bruh. Other more pro tutorials, they focus more on things like mixing your own skin tones and volumes and stuff like that. And both of these things are super great, but these don't solve the immediate problem. And what does light distribution? Wait, before clicking off, this is very important. I bet you didn't hear of this applied to skin tones. I struggled with skin tones a lot. I was very frustrated by this. Until recently, and finally, I realized that everything looks way better and way more realistic with the 80 to 20% ratio light and shadow. The volume jump and skin tones isn't required to be that high in order to be effective, pleasant to the eye, and give a great visual impact to the piece. With a smaller value jump, your miniature will look way better and way more realistic. With so much little effort. To achieve this is pretty simple. You just need to apply a targeted wash to the areas you want to shade. In this case, I'm using contrast paints in different colors so I can achieve shifts in tones. And what I do in order to do that is just thinning them down as much as I want them to. You can use regular washes, regular shades from different brands if you're not confident with thinning yet. I apply this in the natural shadows that should appear on the skin. With the light base coat, you should be able to see that very clearly, even under a little lamp. And in case you're not able to see the shadows yet, just remember some pivotal places where you should place your shadows. You will realize that those are pretty damn fixed. Like for example, under the shoulder muscle, aka deltoid, under the pectoral, the inside part of the arm, the lower side of the back, and so on. Simple. You don't really need to go on and overcomplicate things and study volumes and light interaction and yada 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 yada, because that's hard, and especially at the beginning, it's hard. Having said that, how does this change with different skill level? Well, it doesn't, kind of. The only real and pivotal difference between a beginner and pro painter is gonna be that value jump that we talked about. If it's okay for a beginner or an intermediate painter to use a smaller value jump between shadows, middle tone, and light, usually pro painters always try to push that contrast, that value jump, but also in the meanwhile they have to keep some areas where the value jump is small, so they avoid having those harsh separation between the muscles. That looks bad. But let me tell you, it's a pretty hard challenge to push the darkest parts of the shadows and all the while maintaining that 80 to 20% ratio, because the space you have for your shadows and midtones is so small. You can easily run the risk in having too much shadows and erasing the middle tone, for example. Just being aware of this light distribution thing can really help you out and do miracle for your awareness of skin tones in general. I know this for me really made me up my game. Because even though there are some areas where the shadows can be a little bit darker and the value jump can be a little bit higher, some areas of the body of the miniature still need to be connected by that small value jump that's barely perceptible. That allows you to connect all the volumes together and create a synergy between the muscles of the body. If we paint the whole figure by following perfectly the sculpture, it's gonna look like your character is wearing a bodybuilder Halloween costume, which is bad. So train your eyes to see the connection between the volumes of the muscles, and also notice that concave areas where the light hits where you didn't thought the light would hit, and where you have to carefully apply line of lights. For example, along the sternum, between the abs, under the deltoid, between those back muscles, and so on. The more you get advanced with your painting and the more you get skilled, the more you're gonna look at smaller volume with smaller value jumps. And if you really want to improve and start understanding the volumes of your miniature in a more precise way, you can do it by subscribing to my Patreon, where I give you video feedback. See you there.